Hello everyone, my name is Link02 and welcome back to Doki Literature Club Summertime Mod. Last time I had my first date with Yuri and I went out with Sayori, and that's probably what I will be doing in this episode because Yuri was out of town with her mother. So let's see what will be happening. So Tuesday would be the most boring sentence ever to start a day. I once shot out of my bed and led my slippers with okay, I don't care. I have to make a cup of coffee and head back to my room. Yesterday I thought of a place I could take Sayori to. I have some fond memories of the two of us roaming around that part of the town. There was this one time she nearly fell in the water. I caught her, but I lost my balance and got wet instead of her. That's awkward to think about. If I take off my shirt at this age, it would probably make both of us uncomfortable. I looked at my clothes, okay. Okay, you checked everything. The familiar feeling of walking down our street vanishes as I stop in front of Sayori's house. We used to visit each other all the time. I remember how happy she was to see me after I went away with my parents for a week or two. Even among the other kids, I never experienced anybody being so overjoyed to see me. Since entering each other's house was accepted between us, I just assumed she'd be fine if I came in without ringing the bell or knocking. After entering the house, only silence greets me. I call out to her. Sayori? Is she still sleeping? She says she'll be ready by the time I arrive. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Oh my god. In the original game, we would have seen her hanging, but she got him. Gotcha! So he tackles me with such force that I nearly fall over. I can't complain though. A hug from her is a welcome surprise. I was the first to let go. It looks like she's ready to go and was just waiting for this moment. Are you ready, Link? Yeah. I said, are you ready? I'm ready. I can hear you. I'm ready. Oh, let's go. So I rush to the entrance and waits for me outside by the open door. I feel like I'm taking an excited dog for a walk. My own dog that I'm very fond of, that is. That's kind of disrespectful, my guy. Also, I got a nice glass of Coke. Where are we going? You'll see soon enough. All I'll say is that we went there before. Please tell me it's not the dentist. No, silly. Why would we go there? Because it's the place we went together. If people had soundtracks to their lives, yours would be a list of laugh tracks. I walk through the street in our neighborhood and our conversation trails towards our separate experiences in school this year. Anyway, did you manage to raise your grades? Last I remember you were telling me about getting bad grades for assignments. Yep, my grades got better. Back then I might have run out of time while writing some of them. But don't worry, there's a good reason for that. I leave my assignments to the last minute because the older therefore wiser I will be. The palm of my hand firmly connects with my forehead. We're almost at the park. Want to race to it? Yes! It's only about 100 steps from here, but I managed to cram in some teasing before we get there. You know what you are? A running gag. She starts giggling just enough for me to get ahead and arrive at the first place. Sayori is slightly panting as she crosses the imaginary finish line. I'm not a gag, Link. I'm a real human being. We both laugh at each other as we regain our composure. I feel a wave of nostalgia rush through me as we're walking into the park. So many memories of the two of us playing around here and by the river. We reach an open area of the park that is covered with bright green grass, the kind of which you can comfortably lie down. This looks like an ideal place for us. Let me just whip it out and we can pass it between the two of us. Sarah reaches into her bag and pulls out a frisbee. Wanna go first? I'll let you have the first move. Just be careful how you hold it. Yes! Don't worry, I've been practicing. The world is perfect for playing out in the open. There are just enough clouds to give some variety to the blue sky. A light breeze cools us down while the shining sun keeps us warm. It's almost poetic how well this combination meshes with the game I'm playing. Running after the frisbee makes my heart beat faster, while looking at Sayori's bright smile calms my soul like nothing else I can think of right now. As we're exchanging between us, our eyes occasionally lock onto the others. Her eyes have a glow to them that I don't recall seeing it before. Is she allergic to something? We've been playing for about 15 minutes now. I'm getting tired of throwing it away. I said to keep it once I have it. Aren't you going to throw it back? Shake my head, I approach Sayori. Let's rest a bit, okay? Okay. With that, she lies down on the grass and spreads her arms beside her. Closing her eyes, she lets out an almost comedic sigh. Ah. I sit down next to her. She's just lying there without saying anything. It feels awkward to just look over her like this. So I lie down about an arm's length away from her. Dear Sunshine, you should talk to me. This is not something she would say to me. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of my bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you? She goes silent again. A minute passes as I wait for her to continue. Was that a poem? I wrote it. I liked it. Is that all of it? No, I just forgot the other half. Memory not serving you well? I guess I'm remembering other things. Do you remember how you would always grab my hand and guide us toward the river? We'd spend our days making all sorts of contraptions with sticks and rocks. Yeah, I can't remember what we actually made, but I remember having a ton of fun together. Do you remember that one time you fell in the river? When I fell in there, I thought I was going to die. But you came and saved me. We were literally a few steps from the shoreline. That's not the point. I felt I could count on you. Oh, come on. Even if I was a burden, you were there for me. Main choices. Yeah, well, you really burdened me with unexpected adventures, that's for sure. Remember the time that you almost set your house on fire? It was my first time cooking alone. What about you almost flooded your house? First time washing hands. Hey, you meanie. You're saying this like you never did anything wrong. Like when you... Give me a sec. I know the chuckles yours attempted making fun of me. One of them actually turned out well. My house not burning down? Hey, that's pretty good. Remember when your parents left you for a single weekend? I still don't know how, but you locked yourself out of the house. Then you came over to our house and we had a sleepover. That was super awesome. I lost every time, but it was so cool to play with your parents. I really miss that when... Never mind. Something's on your mind? I was just thinking about how much you helped me when I did all these stupid things. You never even shouted at me for it. Yeah, that's what friends are for, right? I'm so glad that you haven't changed a lot after all these years. Like when you were rushing to climb up that old tree and I fell over trying to catch up to you. I tried crying really hard and you didn't even notice. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Yeah, I was so lost in all the games we played. So in a way it was my fault. But you came back when you saw I was hurt. You always came back. Yeah, I always did. You're such a sweetheart. Eh? Don't say that, you make me feel weird. I know. Your mom always calls you that. That's not really why it feels weird. She was always my best friend. It feels like more than something a friend would say, especially after being gone for so long. What's on your mind, Ling? Like, just one more year and we're out of high school. Yeah, it's funny how time flies by. You look away for what seems like a moment and it's all gone. Like a jar of cookies. That's a typical of her, thinking of her tummy even when talking about such a serious subject. But I feel the need to bring this conversation back on track. Life isn't all fun and games, Sayori. I'm really worried how you're going to handle life after high school. Getting okay grades and reading books isn't all you need, you know? Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face today. You're not wriggling yourself out of this time. Sayori. I know it's been only a few days since we started talking again, but I've been thinking about this since Sunday. I know I'm not the only one to talk about taking responsibility, but you seem to be more concerned with other people's lives than your own. At least your parents get giving you guidance, right? Sayori? Yeah, sure they do. They sometimes give me tips. That didn't sound too convincing. Is she hiding something? Maybe it's because she never talked much about such serious subjects. At least not with me. I did talk about these things with Monica. You know, she's not just a great president, but a great friend too. She likes to give out writing tips to support everyone in improving their skills. One time she saw me when I wasn't okay. Ever since that, she occasionally checks up on me. She even promised to keep in touch once she goes into law school. How about you, Ling? Yeah, I guess we could try to keep in touch after high school. Even if there is no telling where we'll each end up after college, or after that I can at least try. It's not like we'll have to meet face to face in this day and age. I was asking about your plans. Oof. But it will make me happy if you tried. I don't think you realize it, but you're always thinking about other people, even after all these years. I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. How about we check out the river? You know, like we used to. Yay! That's a non-verbal approval if I ever heard one. We'll make our way to the riverside. It's just as peaceful as it was in my memories. I approached the fence. It was so hard to jump over when we were kids. I helped Sayori climb over, and I follow right after her. Oh, that's neat. I stand next to the river and watch the calmly flowing water. This is actually a narrow branch of the river that runs through the city. It looks so much more shallow and narrow than when we were kids. I could probably walk through the other side without getting my face wet, as I am assessing the possibilities of fighting against the current. Okay. Captain, wake up, we're on land. I look over to Sayori. She's got that playful expression of her face that I remember so fondly from our childhood. Lieutenant Sayori reporting for booty. Jeez, you're supposed to report for duty. But I'm a pirate, so I want booty. Har har har. I'll chuckle as Sayori's childlike pretend. Putting one arm over her shoulders, I motion her towards the calmly flowing river. Here's an idea. Remember when you used to collect when we were here as kids? River pearls. That's what you called them. Want to go and look for some nicely shaped river pebbles? I'm sure if you don't go overboard with them, your parents won't mind. I want to find one that's shaped like a dinosaur. That's a bit unlikely, don't you think? How would you know? Are you a river researcher? A pebbleographer? A pearlologist? That's what I thought. I'm gonna find one that's shaped like a Nipponosaurus. Nipponosaurus. Is that even a real dinosaur name? I don't know, but I'm gonna find that pebble anyway. After taking off our shoes, we begin our search for the fabled dinosaur-shaped pebble in the shallows of the river. As for the sake of safety, we leave our phones in our shoes. This is just another reminder how much things have changed. Although I feel a bit silly doing this, it brings back so many memories of the times we used to explore our city. Sometimes my parents accompanied us, but many times it was just the two of us. There was this old tree that we tried climbing at least a dozen of times. I only managed to do it on a couple of occasions. However, Sayori was only able to climb up once, even then just because I gave her a helping hand. That one time we stayed up there for what seemed like an hour. She kept insisting that we stay a little longer. It felt really boring. However, looking back at it, the two of us sitting side by side on a big branch must have looked pretty damn cute. Sayori did at the very least. Okay, I suddenly feel Sayori poking me on my shoulder. Do you see what I see? He's holding a black pebble that is almost perfectly shaped like an egg. See? I told you I'll find one that's shaped like a dinosaur. That just looks like an egg. No, silly, it looks like a dinosaur egg. Since I didn't want to be called out for not being a dinosaur expert, I assume she's probably right. You happy with the booty, Lieutenant? Yes. I'm gonna treasure it, make a nest for it, keep it warm until it hatches. Then I'm gonna be a dinosaur riding Pirates of the Caribbean. Is that supposed to be a reference of something? Supposed to be a reference to something, sorry. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright then, keep your secrets. Before you came along, I was very well thought of. Haven't had any adventures or did anything unexpected. Eh? What's that supposed to mean? Sayori, I'm glad you're back. So am I, Ling. So am I. The air seems to be suddenly held between us. I almost have the feeling of awkwardness, but this is something different. I decided to break the silence and stop it before I make her feel bad. Hey, why don't you take that egg of yours home? Okay. We started making our way home and chat about the many things that happened during the long period we spent apart from each other. Sayori's phone let out a little cat-like jingle, but she either didn't notice it or just didn't care enough to check what it was about. Her expression changed as we were nearing her house. The lively grin from before turned more somber now. Link, there's something I wanted to tell you. Sure, go on. Well, I just wanted to say thanks for going out with me today. Before I can say another word, she gives me a hug and holds me for a few seconds. It has been a long time since I hugged her like this, and it feels different, but in a good way. Don't mention it. I think we both had fun today. Yeah, I'll see you. Wait! I didn't check my phone! She hurriedly pulls out her phone from her pocket and fumbles to read the message sent to her. Wanna go get ice cream? What? You mean now? No, tomorrow. The girls are having another meetup, but this time it's in a brand new ice cream shop. So, wanna join us? Even if I wasn't sure whether I want to or not, it would be hard to say no to Sayori's puppy dog eyes. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Sayori hugs me once again, but this time for a little longer and a little stronger. And then he died. Friday night, funkin'. No, this is a different game. Okay. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Okay, okay, la 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 la, I don't care about this. Revival of our friendship or something. She was helpful, yes. Now, I'm not rocket scientist, but these both could sound pretty promising. However, as it goes, it will only go forward if I actually reach out and take the opportunity with my own hands. After all, doing nothing didn't get me too far, I feel. Okay, ice cream shop, okay. Deal of the month, coldest summer Sundays, I just read that. Also, espresso phone 1.5 yen? Interesting. As I arrive, I recognize two of the girls chatting at the table. I'm telling you, they're literally telling the same story over and over again. Oh my god, you look amazing. With each of them giving their own take on how things would happen, correct? You wish. Most of them are literally just trying to force a sappy ending on a story that is meant to be unpredictable and sad. Hey, mind if I join? Welcome back, Ling. I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, hi, so where was I? Have you seen Sayori and Monica? Monica's bound to appear at any moment. She's the least likely of all of us to disappear without a good reason. Link, just look around you. You think Sayori would miss out on this? A brand new ice cream shop and hanging out with her best friends? Guess you didn't know her well enough. You should have seen her at the school festival. Now that she mentions it, I didn't see her at the festival all day. I doubt she was avoiding me. We probably just visited the stands at different times. What do you mean? We barely finished our performance and the first thing on her mind was, can we go to the cafe now? I remember there was a sort of cafe in one of the classrooms. They served several drinks and snacks. The chocolate cake was delicious and I even bought an extra one to take home. As I'm recalling all these stands in my mind, Natsuki kept going on about the experience at the festival. And I got a plushy tiger hat. That sounds really cute, Natsuki. At this moment, I knew I messed up. I'm not cute! Speaking of cute, Sayori arrives with her neon green bird plushie tucked under her left arm. If she was wearing her PJs, I'd swear she just fell out of bed. Her wide smile is radiating with joy. She waves at us immediately after noticing us. She puts down Mr. Bird next to her as she takes her seat. Hi everybody! Seriously, you brought a plushie? Way to boost the atmosphere. What do you mean? Plushie, ice cream, you... Can we add anything to make it more kid-friendly? Cupcakes with kitten faces. Hey! Anyway, why are you late, Sayori? Do I need to have a talk with you about oversleeping again? Natsuki imitates knacking her knuckles when in playful manner. Well, I was all set to leave home, then I accidentally... She muttered something after her nose, but with a sneaky smile curving on her face. You accidentally what? The whole thing. Sarah, could you clarify what is it that you accidentally did? Well, I was just holding it in my hand and I... Hello and welcome to Stone Cold Steve's. What can I get you? Ice cream! We look behind us and see the one greeting us is an all too familiar person. You thought that was a waitress, but it was me, Monica. Naga gets a chuckle out of Natsuki and Sayori, but the joke seems to have flown over Yuri's head. Hello, Monica. If you're the waitress, not getting a joke is one thing, but taking it seriously is on a whole new level. I have one request. Please, can you make Natsuki read a real book for once? Damn, she was hiding her power level. Shut up! Ah, even your jokes sound like a quote from some novel. You don't like to read books, Natsuki? Of course I do. Well, F you. I just don't read them super seriously. Unlike some people here. Yuri only wants one thing, and it's freaking disgusting. I concur, Natsuki. And as I just demonstrated, I'm fond of the occasional, how you say, banter? Whatever you say, Princess of Darkness. I actually like that. Huh? Nothing. Did you want to continue the topic from a minute ago? Oh yeah. What was the topic? We were dissecting the various aspects of stories written by hobbyists we read on the internet. Yep. You know, I'm not crazy about good grammar, but are some people really bad? Are some people really this bad at it? Some people can't help it, Natsuki. Like you've never heard of proofreading. Look, Monica looks away and lightly shrugs her shoulders. I wouldn't want to start an argument about grammar either. Regrettably, I have to agree. Publishing a work of such low quality tells more about the writer herself or himself than the characters in the story. So yeah, I could look past that. Then there's stuff that just doesn't make sense. A character says some sad stuff and she's grinning like a carved pumpkin lantern. Or when somebody literally says, how hard is it to write? / she sighs, etc. That is quite an amateur mistake. If I may add, I read horror iterations of that one specific story that made inordinate variations on when apologies in advance, but there's a fine line between horror and the parody. Throwing in cheap scares just for the sake of it is even worse than not having them at all. It's like trying to build an atmosphere by haphazardly painting a room red halfway and filling it with extremely strong musty smell. The only way that is scary is if you prepared for renovating that room. You realize that a very stressed sigh. I'm sorry, I finished. I don't get what you are talking about. The two girls laugh at Yuri's remark. If jokes were airplanes, this place would be an airport. Come on, girls, it's not like any of us had a great deal of success when we were trying to crafting our first stories. Just remember when we started sharing poems. I love reading everyone's poems. I wish mine was as good. Monica, Sarah, you're doing it again. Eh? Monica shoots Sarah a knowing smile. It took her a couple of seconds to reciprocate, like waiting for a ball that is being passed to her. Even your first one was decent at the least. You talked about your poems at the club? Oh, it's my voice, okay. You talked about the poems at the club? Yes, we did. I even offered writing tips each meeting. Oh, I actually wrote one myself, huh? What? Link's own poem? Would you mind sharing it with us? That is, if it's not too much asked for. Yes, please, I want to have a good laugh. Natsuki. We won't laugh at it, I promise. Can you show it to us? I'm warning you now, it's pretty short. As short as simple can be just as good. I remember. I agree. It's your technique that matters, not the length. I'm just glad you're trying, Ling. Can encouragement feel insulting? Why do I feel like we're not talking about my poem anymore? I put my hand into my jeans and pull it out. Here it is. I first take it to Monica, then Sayori, then Yuri. What's so funny? Link, is this the poem you wrote? I don't know how to break it to you. Link, poems aren't just words we like. Is that what he wrote? I put my phone back into my pocket. They were probably just saying they don't mind if it's short just to get him to show it. That's enough, it's okay. Let's not demonize Link so quickly. He could be misunderstood by creative genius. Sorry, he could be a misunderstood creative genius. What's that, Yuri? Did you pick your favorite words? Anyway, why don't we go and buy ice cream now? Ice cream! Sorry, please don't scream next to my ear. Sorry, Yuri. Sarah whispers with a playful expression on her face. Ice cream. We walk over to the display and browse the huge section of ice cream flavors. Yuri glances over all of them, including the extras one can get, and talks to the shopkeeper with a clear idea in her mind of what she desires. Natsuki and Monika are still browsing. Monika is conflicted between the two variants of coffee-based flavors. Natsuki is eyeing the prices of the cheaper, more traditional flavors. Meanwhile, Sayori is like a kid in a candy shop and is saying her thoughts out loud about which one she had the longest time ago. Debating with herself if she should listen to her tummy or her mind, I have a feeling I know which one is winning. As I'm about to pay for my order, Monika sidles up behind me and talks to me in a hushed voice. How about you get a tab for all of us, Link? Yeah, how about... no. She lets out a chuckle. Not today, Monika. Does she think I want a laundry? That would fundamentally change things, not just be a convenient way to pay for sweets. I'm pretty sure, like, when you are like going out with a girl, you have to pay. You have to pay. It just has to happen. After we all place our orders, we sit down at our table. However, Monika doesn't have any ice cream. On a diet, Monika? To the contrary, I'm having a cheat day. I'm not supposed to cheat, I know, but I think just a bit of guilty pleasure won't hurt any of us this time. Everyone started munching down on their own bowls of ice cream. Yuri and Natsuki carved small bits off, but at a noticeably different pace. Sayori is at it like she... Woo! Ah! What song, Sayori? Brain freeze! Like she forgot it's not a good idea to rush it. Meanwhile, I'm just doing it Link style. You know how, it's me. Even the ice cream tastes worse with a joke like that. Your order, miss. Thank you. Whoa! That's huge! Everyone is intrigued by the icy masterpiece, and Monika gives the detailed list of its contents. It's covered in almonds, chocolate syrup, caramel, 5 different flavors of ice cream, 2 of which are coffee-based, whipped cream, and of course the cherry on top. As she finishes saying that, she takes the cherry with one elegant motion and pops it in her mouth. Certain thoughts pop into my mind at the same time. Natsuki and Sayori already finished with their bowls when Monika isn't even the third of the way through. Natsuki, do you like any of these flavors? Yeah? Why? Sharing is caring. Huh? Come on, grab a spoon and we can share it. I don't know if she's only saying that because she realized she ordered too much, or she just wanted to surprise Natsuki. Yuri and Sayori start chatting while Monika and Natsuki dig into the big bowl of multicolored sweetness. Okay, everyone, I'm full. That's not really what I wanted to say, it just came out. So what, would anybody like to play the acronym game again? Again? Yes, it was so much fun on Monday. How about you, Yuri? It was relatively the last time we played the Solitary part. I'm not that stoked about making guesses this time, but I'll help you out by announcing the acronym and keep track of the score. Link, let's get started. Alright, let's not mess our Yuri route. Okay, Ghost Girl or Guaranteed Gravy? Ghost Girl. Oh no, okay. Save our souls, yeah. Let's save our library. Identify flying object. Theoretical murder investigation, I like this one. John Kennedy. I'm going for John Kennedy, that was hilarious. This one. Nailed that one, okay. The game concludes and Monika announces the winner. However, as I've been told many times, it's not about winning. It's about enjoying the game. Judging by her lively expression... Lively, I don't know. Yuri definitely enjoyed the game. It looks some of my guesses really sparked her interest. Just like on Monday, she became more and more enthralled as I made my guesses. However, there's a strong hint of curiosity in her eyes today. That was fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity. Sayori seems like she was kind of bored when we finished. Did she get upset because she didn't win the game? It's not like this game determines anything important. Can I ask you something, Monica? Of course you can. How did you come up with this game? I didn't expect that question. You see, we need the game in which your choices can be awarded with a point in every round. This way, the player is bound to get at least some points. With these points, the player can have multiple outcomes, and none of them are losing. Aren't the ones supposed to decide who wins? Oops, you're right. Those words could make a difference. Speaking of the acronym game, did you know FOMO actually stands for Fear of Missing Out? I was familiar with that one. The four girls get into a conversation about literature. I can't really complain about being excluded, since Monica originally came up with this game for that purpose. Random thoughts start to cloud my mind as I space out for however long. I've already lost track of time when I suddenly hear the girls laughing about something. I decided to listen in with the hopes of actually being able to contribute a few meaningful comments. It's kind of like the story behind the story you're reading. Do you mean like the stuff people do behind the scenes? No, Link. We were talking about how a well-crafted story tells you more than what can be seen on the surface. I'm right out of my depth here. Silence is golden is another saying that comes into my mind. Would you like to explain it, Yuri? Yuri? Oh, sorry. I was weighing my options on what I could read tomorrow. Would you mind repeating your question? It's okay. Would you like to explain what we mean by the story behind the story? With pleasure. Is the set of inter-character dynamics, rules, and the world's magic, for instance, implied or started messages of the author and possible events. What people call backstory is not the same, but rather part of it. Creating such a story behind the story, in other words, a meta story, can be an encumbering task, but it gives guidelines for the author. By establishing the rules of a world, the reader can be led to have a set of expectations, which can be ultimately shattered as the world in question is revealed to be a far cry from what it appeared to be. Okay, everybody's silent as we listen to you. Not just us though. Literally nobody else is talking in the shop. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. I wonder where you're going to drop this habit. Of rambling on? Of saying sorry all the time. So... Anyway, I have a sort of announcement to make. Really, it's more of an invitation. There is this nice pool place I visited Sayori, and I wanted to invite you all there. It's getting spicy. I'm available on Sunday. How does that sound? Pool party, woohoo! Well, you know, if I can make it, I'll be there. I suppose it would be practical for getting the necessary dosage of vitamin D. Link? Sorry for always asking you last. I can only promise two things. I'll be there, and I won't drown. Good enough for me. Now what do you say? Shall we take this meeting somewhere else? About that. Did you have something else in mind, Sayori? Yeah, I want to go shopping for clothes. If discussing literature is out of my comfort zone, then clothes shopping isn't even visible from within that zone. We could go with you, right, girls? Shopping, Monica? Really? Monica looks over me, but I doubt it's because she needs my advice. She turns back to Sayori after a few seconds of what I assume to be thinking. Would it be okay with you if you went without us? Well, I was hoping Link would come with me. Sayori, there is no way I'm going to wash your brow's clothes for hours. Yeah, that's mean, Link. I'm really not in the mood for it. Cheer up, Sayori. Maybe in another week. Wait, I was just about to say that. Until then, just focus on those happy thoughts. Fine. I guess I'll just leave then. The other girls barely have a chance to say goodbye to Sayori before she walks away. As she turned away, I think I saw her smile turn to frown for a split second. So how about everyone else? There's still this lovely cafe I thought of going to. I could say that's my spot. They not only serve amazing coffee, but they also have handcrafted pastries. That sounds awesome! How about you, Link? How could I ever notice such a sweet smile? Let me show you. I stand up and walk over to the entrance. I'm holding it open and gesturing to the girls with a smile on my face. Wow, they actually liked it. Jesus. She's so close. We went with the public transport and I sat next to Yuri. She was a bit surprised by me asking if I could sit next to her, but enthusiastically agreed nonetheless. We didn't talk during our journey, but I had the chance to see her from up close when she was looking out of the window. This reminds me of that time when she sat across that table. Her silence raises my attention and her beauty. Someone's tapping on my shoulder. We have reached our destination. It's just a stone throw away now. I hold the door open for the girls to enter the cafe. Natsuki's first, then Yuri, and with Monika. As she enters the doorway, Monika looks me in the eye. What a gentleman. Natsuki stops in her tracks and starts looking around. Wow, Monika, this place is awesome. How did you find it? I was just walking around and wanted a cup of coffee. This was the first cafe I saw and instantly fell in love with it. No kidding, it's really fancy. If their goods is just as good, it's a perfect fit for you. You'll see. Come on, let's order something. I'm sure you'll love their selection. I can't wait. The decoration and furniture are really top notch, but that gives me the impression that this shop is... We approach a display filled with handcrafted cakes and other pastries, above which there's a big board with all the prices. My impression is confirmed. If my world was alive, it would scream the horror and the numbers in front of us. How does Monika afford? The cogs start turning in my head as I process the possibilities of Monika regularly visiting such an establishment. Does she have a rich family? Does she work outside of school? Does she have that many guys taking her on dates? Those cupcakes are so cute. Natsuki's eyes are fixated upon a pair of cupcakes that have an animal face drawn on them with icing. Curious little cupcakes, aren't they? Shut it! While the two girls are examining all the delicacies, okay, free drinks. And honey, please. What are you getting for yourself, Monika? I'd like Americano with sugar. That's how I like it. Sweet and dark. There's a reference somewhere in there. Okay, okay, well, what can I get? La 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 la. Playing together, okay. I don't know, we might have a gentleman among us. Sus. It's just a few cups of coffee, Link. So, okay, Monika. You'll be my guest. Another time. She lets out an amusing chuckle and it lightly shoves my shoulder. You're so cheeky, but I will hold you to your word. To your word, sorry. La 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 la, okay. There we are. They barely glance over at us as we sit down in front of them. And he just happens to have a legendary uncle. But wait, it gets better. They build the machine in a few weeks and it works on the first try. Then he convinces the gang that they live in a false reality. In 10 minutes. Should I even mention suspension of disbelief? Oh, that's yours voice. God damn it. Should I even mention suspension of disbelief at this point? Guess what the genius does next? He asks the gang to help him with fixing the invention he created with his legendary uncle, despite the others not having any idea about all that technical stuff. Sophie face palms. Is the protagonist likable at the very least? If by likable you mean not cringy, then now. He constantly stumbles on his voice and treats normal high school girls like his goddesses. He might as well be called Mr. Otaku. What's an otaku, Natsuki? Shouldn't I be considerate? He looks at me with a supreme amount of smartness. Nah, don't get too carried away with the description. An otaku is basically a guy who is obsessed with anime culture to an unhealthy degree. They are usually total shanins and fantasize about one of the fictional girls being their wife. So, fantasizing about fictional characters? That's so embarrassing. Who would such... Ladies and gentlemen, this is what second-hand embarrassment looks like. Is there a story you would recommend to us? Well, there was this one that left me with mixed feelings. It wasn't bad, but I didn't get this thing between two of the girls. One of them had some sort of illness, and the other girl often came over to take care of her. Then they started falling for each other. I was like, what heck? What am I reading? It sounds like a psychological trope I read about, called the Florence Nightingale effect. I personally find such an explorations of the human mind fascinating. Okay, brain touring aside, why did it have to be two girls? I don't see anything wrong with that. I find myself nodding along the Monika's statement. Gross! Speaking of the deeper reaches of the human psyche, I believe a romantic novel meshed with psychological horror elements would be an exhilarating read. Yuri, cut it out! Don't worry, I believe you understand. I understand your disinterest in the topic. After all, you put your standards lower so you can reach them, correct? What's that? You gotta come down with your Ivy Tower so the normal people can hear you too. At least, My back is straight. I not court as a convenient spot. That's medical condition, you know that. And not being told is a choice? Dummy. Anyway, let me tell you about the fanfic that I personally really enjoyed. It started out after story. Okay. And I'm just sitting here contemplating about this new superhero game I'm going to play. That's somebody snapping their fingers in front of my face. Yeah, this isn't the napping club. Oh, what do you mean? You spaced out for like 20 minutes. Oh. That's low even by my standards. But hey, at least I wasn't overthinking social interactions with the girls around me like a character in some bad fanfic. Besides, planning strategies for my in-game champion has a use other than keeping my mind busy. Does our school have a napping club? No, dummy! We were just talking about clubs in general. So what I wanted to say is that I do believe the tall guy from the chess club has a bright future ahead of him. I know he's a little nerdy, but I can imagine him becoming the face of some sort of tech company one day. I don't know about that. I'm just glad he's not like those douchebags in the sports club. Not to brag, but I saved this damsel from those brutes a couple of times. Pokes Yuri on the shoulder, she says that. She rolls her eyes in response. They would have left... Okay. Okay, so... Okay, yes. So Yuri was picked on and Natsuki saved her. Okay. They would have left after a while anyway. Shush, you're welcome. How about you, Link? Which club were you a member of in school? Oh no. If I admit that I wasn't a member of any club, they'll probably think I'm some sort of weird loner. Yeah, maybe I'm a bit, but I don't want them to know that. Well, I was debating with myself whether I should join the debate club. That's not the reactions I'm looking for. But then I saw the animated expressions of the guys in the anime club. I should let them go about their business. Just let the conversation move along without me. Meanwhile, Sayori invited me to the literature club. I think we know how that turned out. Yeah, it turned out great. A fun club with no creepy weirdos. Natsuki. So there weren't any clubs that interested you? Well, yeah. I bet if our club was about something else, he would have leapt at the chance to join. Wouldn't that mean that the literature club would never existed? What if the literature club never existed? Okay. To be honest, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine myself in any other club. Also, I need to save the game right now. I'm gonna save the game. Let's go. Thinking about back to it, I feel a feeling that I was supposed to join this club. Like there was no alternative. Yeah, same. It's pretty weird. Perhaps our fate has already predetermined that we are merely acting in all out. Like it has all been scripted for us. You already cut it out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Monica knows something. Because she has access to in-game files. And when Yuri said our destiny was preordained. Predetermined. I mean. And she said something about script. Monica blushed. I was rambling again, wasn't I? Anyway, it was fun to hang out together. Unfortunately, I have to go and tend to some other obligations I have for today. See you on Sunday. Monica starts heading towards the exit and Yuri looks at her watch. I believe I should go as well. I promised my mother that I will cook dinner today. Since I'm not certain if I have all the necessary ingredients, I believe it's better if I go home early. That's really nice of you, Yuri. Man, how awesome it would be to come home and find freshly cooked dinner. Maybe one of those days you could come over and we could cook something together. I'm sure you could teach me a couple of new culinary tricks. You bet! Your memory better serve you well because I won't forget this invitation. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Yuri, before you go, I want to ask you something. Good. I'm only listening. How about I walk you home today as well? I accept. Whoa! I thought this would be a bit harder. Maybe I just got too used to being rejected all the time. Great, let's go then. Gosh dang it. Okay, so I remember you said you would be up for watching movies. I did? Yeah, on Monday, that diner. I sometimes go to the movie theater, so I was thinking, would you like to watch a movie with me? We can... Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not intend to raise my voice. Her enthusiasm is clearly showing in her tone, so I don't know if I have a reason to be concerned of this. It's how it looks like when a girl feels the same way about me. Could I have a request as well? Ask away. I prefer if we met up later during the day. I was planning to spend my day with my mother, and now I see even more of a reason to talk with her. I'm okay with that. Would you like anything else? No, not yet, that is. She fiddles up with her hair for a few minutes until our boss arrives. On our way to her part of town, we continued our chat on the bus. She shared her concerns about Sunday with me, and I reassured her that if anyone tries to make unwelcome advances on her, I'll be there to step in. Thank you, Link. You should thank him for walking her home. Don't mention it, it's not a big deal, Yuri. No, I mean for continuing our little adventure. I was afraid we would part ways after last time you came home with me. Yet you continue to surprise me. I feel the same way. She's visibly blushing. Did I say something embarrassing? I enjoyed the time we spent together today. Who knows what tomorrow will bring, right? I have to go. Until tomorrow. Freaking introvert. She rushes into her house as I'm left feeling dumbfounded, yet satisfied at the same time. I think she's afraid to show it, but she likes me. Okay, Saturday, and this is where I'm gonna stop my episode. I think we're getting to the end of this. We're gonna have an actual date with Yuri. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, we just have to hit the like button with all of your might, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Today has been Link02 with you, and bye bye!